Games aren't just won during the match, they're won in the hour before it starts. In this video, we'll break down a full pre-game routine for youth soccer teams, helping you prepare your players mentally, physically, and tactically so they step onto the field ready to perform. Checklist PDF is in the description. Timestamps, too. Let's get started. Before we even get to the pre-game warm-up routine, let's take a step back and talk about what needs to happen before game day. As a coach, you're not just reacting in the moment, you're planning days ahead. That means checking which players will be available for the game, thinking through different formations, and preparing for different scenarios based on how the match might unfold. At the last practice before the game, remind the players about the upcoming match. Tell them who the opponent is, what's at stake, and how the match affects your position in the league. For younger players, don't just give them a speech, ask them what they remember about this opponent if they've played them before. This helps them feel involved and builds their game IQ. You also want to clarify your expectations, both from a tactical and an effort standpoint. This helps with mental preparation so that they don't arrive at the game flat or confused. Now let's get into the actual pre-game routine, starting from when the players begin arriving at the field. The first 15 minutes are all about arrival and welcome. This isn't just about showing up and putting on cleats, it's about connecting. Make sure to individually greet the players. Give them a high five, a quick question about how they're feeling, and try to bring up something soccer-related. It could be the big game on TV over the weekend or even a funny moment from the last practice or game. These little interactions help set the tone and get the players into the soccer mindset. You also want to get a read on them emotionally. Are they too hyped? Are they distracted? You can catch a lot in these early moments. Often, during this time, you won't even have the field yet. Another game might be finishing up, or the goals might still be locked up. That's okay. Just having the team together and mentally locked in already gives you an advantage. From minutes 15 to 25, it's time for a bit of ball work and light activation. This is not yet a full warm-up, and it's important to start with no contact. Instead, it's about getting touches on the ball and slowly waking up the body. Start with simple drills. Player 1 passes the ball forward long, Player 2 passes first touch back short, Player 1 receives it sideways with one touch and passes back to Player 2. Player 2 becomes the Player 1 in the next repetition. Keep it relaxed and simple. Add a variation where Player 1 passes back to where they came from, while Player 2 comes to the box to receive that ball across the body. It's important for them to practice the half turn and receive it with their back foot. Again, no opposition, just muscle activation in various touches and turns. Then move to the next drill where the player receiving the ball has someone lightly pressing from behind, but not really attempting to get the ball. If the defender is on their left side, they need to go right. Now, they have to check their shoulder, control the ball, and keep it away from the opponent. It's not about going full speed, it's about building awareness and activating their decision-making early. Remind them that first touch is everything, where you take your first touch decides what you can do next. Next, from minute 25 to 30, gather the team for a tactical walkthrough in shape. This is not a strategy session, it's about setting expectations and reviewing what's already been taught. Ask players 2 or 3 questions to check understanding. Ask your center back, what do you do if they play with 2 forwards? Ask your winger, what do you do when we lose the ball in midfield? Make sure you give them space to answer. Often, players won't respond because they're afraid to get it wrong, especially when the coach is seen as the authority. You'll have to encourage them and make it clear that tactical understanding is a shared responsibility. Also, remind them to speak up if they know players on the opposing team. Sometimes they'll recognize someone and give you some insight you didn't have. From minutes 30 to 40, it's time for the actual warm-up, movement, stretching, and dynamic exercises. Start with simple jogging, high knees, but kicks, lateral shuffles. Then move into basic stretches, lunges, leg swings, arm circles, as well as static stretching. Mix in short sprints toward the end. At U10 you might have to lead this, and while they don't really need them at that age, it is about the process. By U14 your captain should take control of it. You still monitor from time to time, but they lead it. From minute 40 to 45, move into rondos or skip directly to the next drill if you are short on time. Start with 4v1 or 4v2 rondos in a small square. You can also set up multiple rondos side by side so more players are moving. However, rondos don't make the players move too much, so it's really just to bring some ball control after the dynamic warm-up. Now, from minutes 45 to 55, you want to run a game-like drill. This is the final physical prep before kickoff, so it has to be relevant to what they're about to face. A great option is 3v2 plus a goalkeeper. The attacking team has to break through and score, while the defending team works on stopping the attack and clearing the ball. This helps both attackers and defenders get real repetitions in tight spaces. It also gives your goalkeeper some action and builds anticipation. This drill also builds confidence. When your striker puts a couple in the net, they feel good. When your center back wins a 1v1 duel, they feel ready. Try to get as many players involved as possible, rotating frequently. You're not trying to run them into the ground, you're fine-tuning their readiness. Finally, the last 5 minutes, minutes 55 to 60, are for mental preparation. During the first 55 minutes as a coach, you go around and give bits of individual encouragement. The sweet spot for each player is to neither be too arrogant, nor full of defeatism. They need to believe that it will be challenging, but if they all give their maximum, they can win. The last 5 minutes is where you step back a bit and let the players take over. Now it's time for your captain or one of the leaders to speak. Let them give a short pep talk and a cheer. It doesn't need to be dramatic, just something that reinforces effort, trust, and unity. Coaches need to develop players as people and leaders, but that requires repetitions of public speaking, not just hitting the ball. One last thing. For very important games, I bring them a moment before their cheer and give them a moment to visualize. Ask them to close their eyes for a second and think about how they'll play the first 5 minutes. What will they do when they get their first touch? What will they do if they lose the ball? They become focused and ready for a soccer game. Coaching isn't just about what happens during the match. The hour before kickoff can define how your team starts. And in youth soccer, the start often defines the whole game. So plan it out, stay flexible, and make that hour count. Good luck out there.